Hi there, Sean Hall here, CEO of human performance company Energx. Today, I'm really excited to introduce you to Franky. Franky is designed based on the idea or belief that we have at Energx that everyone deserves a coach. And so we don't think coaching should be a privilege, and everyone should have that person in their corner who sees their potential and helps them be at their best. And that's exactly what Franky's here to do. Franky's called Franky because Franky is frank with you too about what you need to do specifically to avoid any of those energy vampires, we like to call them, that can potentially cause you to burn out. Now, I'm going to take you just quickly through our onboarding experience, and you'll just see how easy it is. What I'm using here today is I'm using Microsoft Teams. However, Franky is built to live in any platform that you're currently working in. So Slack, Workplace, WebEx, we also have SMS available in the US and Canada, and very soon we'll have WhatsApp as well. We have the functionality to extend to other platforms if that's the need for your business too. So as you see here in Teams, I'm simply just going to select Franky as an app and add Franky to my workspace. And it's really that simple to get started. Then all I do is type, "Hey Franky," to begin a conversation. Now, what Franky's going to do is Franky's going to ask me a series of startup questions, as you'd anticipate, really just to work out where in the world you are, first of all, and really just to get to know you a little bit better. So I'm just going to introduce myself to Franky as Sean, and then from there, we're going to set ourselves up. Now, this whole experience takes about 8 minutes. And really, it's about, first of all, setting you up for success, but also, Franky, getting to know specifically what's going on with you. And so we have constructed what we call an energy intelligence assessment. And this is really based on a whole bunch of different fields of science, from neuroscience, positive psychology, sleep science, nutrition, exercise, you name it, to holistically look at your life and really to look at those sometimes everyday warning signs that can leave us being vulnerable to burnout or to more serious mental health issues. Throughout, there's many coaching videos like this one that you see here, and I just click. And these coaching videos are really designed to just share very quickly simple things that, there's me, simple things that essentially are designed to give you just what you need to know about the science, and importantly, to make the science accessible and to focus on really the place that the science says to start. Because we know that when we're feeling burnt out, when we're feeling depleted, trying to research more or find out where to start for ourselves can feel overwhelming again. And so that's our job, is to make that science really accessible to you and just to really tell you what to do so that you can get started nice and easy with confidence. Now, once we've started, really, the first thing that we want to know is really what is the one thing that's most important to you when it comes to having your energy. And this is going to set you up for really making the most of your program. The program itself is going to consist of 6 micro skills challenge sessions, each that have a coaching element to it, and then 10-day behavioral change challenges. It's going to take maximum 15 minutes a week, even less most weeks. And at the end of the program, you'll also get a momentum report, which will show all of your progress, the goals that you've hit, and importantly, recognition or tips as well to sustain your energy going forwards. So we've designed this really because the biggest thing that people will say to us is often that I don't have time to look after myself. And that's why just spending 15 minutes a week with Frankie, we guarantee you is going to get you towards your energy goals and ultimately having the energy that you deserve to have for the people that you care about the most. So the one thing that I wish I had more energy for, this is what Frankie's asking me right now, and that is going to be to do more traveling, which I'm sure many of you can relate to as well. From here, what Frankie's going to do is ask a series of questions. There's 17 questions in total. It takes about 5 minutes to get through these questions. And these are really about understanding your unique context. Now, based on your unique context, we then pull from a library of content. We've built an algorithm that weights each of these questions because not everything when it comes to well-being is created equal, and then creates for you that personal curriculum. Now, that curriculum, there's over 5.7 million different options of that. So the curriculum itself is unique as the individual. Now, this is a really important consideration if you see yourself as an inclusive employer, because inclusion really needs to be about seeing the individual. Therefore, if your well-being program, your performance program basically is the same thing for every person, then it's not truly inclusive because it's not personalized to that unique experience. Now, I'm just going to go through and answer these questions right now, and then I'm going to come back to you and show what happens next. Okay, so what you can see here now is that I've answered a series of questions here that Franky's asked me. That's taken me only about 4 minutes to answer all of those questions. And at the end of that, Franky's then going to create my personal curriculum. So what you'll see here is that Franky has designed for me this tailored personal curriculum based on those 5.7 million different options. The first one is a team bootcamp that I'll do with the rest of my team, and then I'm going to move into these 5 micro skills around managing my inner critic, waking up refreshed, dealing with stress, nutrition, and how to energize my relationships. Now, I can start that challenge essentially, and you'll see that kicks back into Franky. And so Franky's going to start my curriculum here in Teams on the following Monday. And we do that to make sure that the whole team can start together. So you have that sense of momentum build and everyone having a shared experience. And that also gives us just a little bit of time up front as well to make sure that we can onboard as many people as possible. So from there, the curriculum within Franky is really just a series of chats that might happen each day. Now, I'm going to show you the curriculum, and I'm going to show you because of the different platforms we have. I'm actually going to show you that in Slack. So hold on in a moment, and I'm going to come back to you. All right, we're back. So here's Franky having and delivering my curriculum to me in Slack. The user experience regardless of the platform is the same. And so you'll see here that this is my 4th coaching session that we're looking at right now, which is how to reduce stress. The way that each of these challenges starts is that it'll start with a coaching session. So this is really an introduction to very simple parts of the science that's relevant to that question, and really just again gives that first part of the science, makes it feel very accessible, and then just says focus on the one thing. And so in this program, we're focusing on basically using a square breathing technique to actually reduce those feelings of overwhelm and stress and to deal with that in the moment. Then what Franky does is each day just checks in with you to see how you're going with practicing that skill and to give you additional tips. As you see, these tips are also designed to be shareable. So if someone wanted to download these and share them with a friend or someone they care about, they can do that as well. It's all designed to be very visual. So that is Franky in essence. And at the end of the curriculum, in total, it takes 86 days. So 6 challenges overall, 6 fortnightly challenges. At the end, you'll get a personal momentum report. Okay, so see what happens at the end of the program. So once you've completed your curriculum, Franky's going to ask you the same set of questions over again to measure your progress against your initial goals. And what you see here, now we're in workplace. So this is just how flexible Franky is to be able to be just where people are naturally operating. So no new apps, no trying to create new behaviors. People just have a chat the way they normally would. Now, one thing we do ask people obviously is we want to say, well, how much effort did someone put in? Because obviously your results are going to be related or directly correlated to the amount of effort that you put in. So I'm going to be realistic here. I'm going to say for most of the time. And what we know is that you don't have to be perfect to get great results with Franky. If someone is interacting about 60% of the time with Franky, just checking in, the likelihood they're going to achieve their goals is greatly improved. Franky's job is to hold them accountable. Now, what you see here is Franky has created for me my momentum report. So this is going to be essentially my before and after results. So I'm just going to click on this and you'll see how I did over the course of the program. Now, what we do with these as well is that we will aggregate all of this. This is really how we also determine the ROI of the overall program, because we'll be able to see at an aggregate level how the whole team has done. So you'll see here, I've completed my program. There's a video here explaining how to read my results. And then it's going to take me through what I learned, right? So the micro skills sessions that I had as part of my curriculum were here: waking up refreshed, dealing with stress, boosting my happy hormones, managing my inner critic, exercises that light up my brain, and the power of gratitude. And what we see here is that I have had a 17% improvement since the start, and I've had a slight adjustment, maybe been a little bit more pragmatic with my goals. Yeah, because again, I think this is one of the biggest things that we learn through this is it's not about perfection. If you have enough energy, 8 out of 10 days in life, it's going to feel pretty good. Then it's also going to look at my skills, my progress against all of my skills. So what you see here is I wasn't quite perfect. I slipped back on 3 of the 16. I improved on 5, but I hit 8 of my goals. So the fact that 13 of those 16 I was able to improve upon in that over the course of that 86 days, that's a pretty fantastic result. Then we go into each of the 4 different skills areas. So fuel being the foundation of our energy. So this is the stuff you commonly think about, really about sleeping well and looking after ourselves physically. So I had a 5% improvement there. And we look at each of those individually. Then the next was looking at fire. So fire is really about personal purpose and using my strengths towards something that is meaningful to me. And so I had a 37% improvement in my score there, which is great. And then we go into each of the little contributing factors for each of those as well. And what you see here just on the right-hand side as well in the purple text are just little references or tips to sustain my energy as well after the program is complete. Feeling is our next strength, and that's really about our relationship with ourselves first. And so, as you see, I was doing quite well there with a high score of 30, slight improvement. Again, managed to sustain my a good sense of self-talk here. So these are all things that we will look at. Felt like I had more energy for the important relationships in my life. Felt like I had more friends at work. This is great stuff. And then finally, focus is really about how we create space for the stuff that energizes us whilst we remove or reframe the things that deplete us. So really focusing here. And again, a 33% improvement. So every single person that actually completes the curriculum of Franky gets this momentum report. We then, as I said, aggregate all of that data to look at how the program has delivered a return on that investment overall. Now, what we know is this is basically the number one retention strategy that you could use right now to actually lift your people's performance, help them overcome pandemic burnout, and ultimately feel more loyal to you as well. You know, and you will see a huge shift in your culture when you can increase the proportion of the people in that work for you that are highly energized. So if you have a higher proportion, just like on a sporting team, if you have a high proportion of energized, fit, agile people, adaptable people, then you will win. It's going to become a competitive advantage. So that was a brief introduction to Franky and the three platforms. You saw Teams, you saw Slack, and you saw Workplace. As I said, we also have Franky available in WebEx and SMS in the US and Canada, and coming very soon to WhatsApp. If you have any questions on Franky at all, or would like to have a live demo, please reach out to us. Email me at sean@energx.com.au. I look forward to talking to you very soon.